Welcome everyone, it is I, Juan of Love and Peace Productions, and today we are back in, I believe, part 6 of Sonic Unleash. Yeah, that sounds right. So in this part, after, going through Alaska and getting the Gai Key, we're going to be going back to Spagonia. But remember to head into Spagonia in nighttime, because a certain story segment will play out.
Found you, Sonic! Oh, Sonic, I've been looking for you forever!
Hey, let me go!
You're crazy if you think you can get away from Amy Rose and... Who are you? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry! I just completely mistook you for someone else! That is so strange. I could have sworn it was him. Anyway, I'm really sorry. See you later!
Well, that was weird. How come that girl didn't know you were you, Sonic? I mean, I guess you are kinda, and, these guys... Oh, I mean, don't worry. Hey, you only look really scary, Sonic. Inside, you're the same as ever. I guarantee it, okay? Sonic, cheer up. Chocolate. Want some chocolate?
Okay, so I know some people are somewhat confused about that cutscene, mainly because people wonder why would Sonic even care about Amy, and he usually doesn't. But I think the idea with that cutscene is that like what Sonic is thinking. This is what I have interpreted it. I can't speak. This is what I think of it. I think the idea is Sonic's thinking, holy crap, not even my obsessive fangirl stalker recognizes me in this form. This sucks. And it's been shown throughout the game that Sonic doesn't enjoy being the werehog. He's just overall not a fan of it. He's not usually smiling a lot when he is in the werehog form. And in the animation that plays in the loading screen when you change from night to day, he's sort of happy that he's out of it. But yeah. Anyway, what you have to do is that you tell Professor Pickle that you got the Gaia Gate, or you got the first get. You tell him about what the information. You're supposed to just go up and ask him about stuff. Since we already went to Alaska, we already got the first Gai Key, and now we're getting the second one in Rooftop Run Night. Yeah, you're supposed to talk to the professor, and then you're supposed to go to the levels that you have missed. And the only level that we have missed is this one, so yeah. So this level, in a weird way, I actually kind of like this level. There's a couple of the werehog levels that... In my first playthrough, felt like... In my first playthrough of the game, it took me a while to beat these stages, mainly because of... I wasn't really sure. It was my first time playing the game, that should be expected. But on this second sort of revisiting, especially seeing as how this was very recent after, or at least more recent than other people's playthrough of the game. I already know sort of the ins and outs of how the werehog works, and I already have the combos that I like to use. The very damaging combos that I like to use on enemies. I don't have all of it, but I do have a decent amount of the combos that I have. His strength is leveled up to a decent amount. It also helps that I am using guides, but that's mostly for the medal collecting. And even then, collecting medals for the werehog stages anyway are a lot easier than the speed stages. Mainly because, you're moving at a much slower pace and they already sort of make you want to explore. So yeah, the previous nighttime stage, Savannah Citadel, was more about the slow quote-unquote puzzle solving aspect, pushing around blocks and turning wheels and stuff like that. this is, I feel like, is more platform oriented, because once we get a bit later through the stage, we're gonna get into the segment where we're climbing up the clock tower, but we'll talk about that once we get to it. And for the most part, I honestly don't mind this level too much. Although again, that's mainly because of, you know, experience and playing it. But yeah, to talk about something else with this level, this part was a hassle to record. This part was a hassle to record. Also, by the way, in this stage there are some dynamite boxes that you can yeet them at enemies, and they can delete a huge chunk of their health bars. I guess I should talk about the combos I would recommend. So the combos, I'm trying to look for the Xbox controller so I can sort of, I guess, like, oh, whatever. So the combos I like to use are the sort of, again, this is mainly for Xbox. If you're playing on, like, PS3 or PS4 or whatever, you might have to, like, see the buttons for yourself, but my favorite one is the sort of YYXXX combo, where it's like he does the, I think it's the donkey kick, where it's like where he throws out the two big punches, and then some other attack, and then he goes for like a giant like double kick, and that's really powerful. Another combo I recently found in this playthrough was sort of the opposite, where it was the XXYYY combo. I think that's what it is. That's the one where he does the big like spiral around. That's good for like the donkey kick's good for like defeating enemies, like a single enemy. That's pretty much what the Y attacks are for. They're like more for like they're more of the strong attacks, while the X attacks are for like more range. There's certain other attacks that I don't have yet. One of my favorites is there's an attack that we'll get later on, which will allow us to, if you hold the run button and hold one of the attack buttons, you do this like spiral drill, and that's really good for use. But yeah, as I was saying, this is a hassle to record because, so I recorded the gameplay for the first half of this part, and then when I was done recording, I realized that it only recorded the first like 15 minutes. So like pretty much a huge chunk of the part, but not the entirety of the part. And that's because the computer I'm using to make these videos was dealing with like storage issues, and not to go into too much detail about my current situation, but it was gonna take a while to get that issue figured out. And so what I had to do was that my idea was to, okay, I'll just record like I'll replay through the section of the stage again. I'll replay through the stage again, and then I'll start recording the section that was missed, and I'll just edit it onto the first footage. But okay, so after I got the storage issue dealt with, I had to deal with the fact that there's like a story segment that happens afterwards, and because of that story segment, it won't allow you to go to the stage at first, to go back to like the stage section of the hub world. So I pretty much have to record the first part of part 7, and then I had to go back to record the second half of part 6. So yeah, if I didn't explain it well, I'm sorry, but yeah, it was a hassle recording this. You'll see the edit later. Anyway, there's another one, the Gaia Titans. And, okay, I love the QTE animation on, like the sort of, like, the larger, like, Dark Gaia mini-bosses. I love that, where he goes inside, like, mainly the ending, where Sonic goes inside and tears him apart on the inside. I'm not kidding. I mean, in my first playthrough of this game, I was literally like shook after seeing that, because I thought that was awesome, where he literally like went inside him and tore him up from the inside. And I felt like the Werehog, I mean, the Werehog animations are pretty decent in my opinion, but I felt like the Werehog should have more stuff like that, sort of like the cool animations he has on like the QTEs. And there's gonna be a couple of more cool like animation with QTEs once we get to the Werehog boss fights. But I feel like if he had stuff like that more into his like natural gameplay, I feel like he would have been more entertaining, in my opinion. I finally was able to go past this stage pretty quickly, even when collecting like the medals. Like, so obviously for the end of the stage, you know, I had to record that. That's not the actual like ending of the stage that I recorded for like the first half of the gameplay. That's because again it stopped recording and I didn't realize it, so I had to record the half that wasn't there, that didn't get recorded. Had to re-record that, and you know, when I did the second playthrough of the stage, you know, I obviously wasn't trying to go for medals until I got to the segment, since I wanted to show off where the medals were. But yeah, let's see what else. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I basically wanted to. So I was talking about how like even when collecting medals, I went through the stage pretty quickly to where in my second playthrough where I didn't collect medals, I only cut off like maybe like 2 minutes. I do also sort of like the atmosphere of this level, where it's like you start out going through like the town, then you start raiding homes to look for like items and stuff. I think that's pretty funny. Where it's like the werewolf just like beats down on like the doors, tears them apart, and then just goes through the homes and stuff and like the buildings. And I do like how like later on, after you defeat the mini boss again, you actually start like climbing up this big clock tower. So I sort of like the set pieces for this level, And overall, I kind of like this level. And for the most of the werewolf stage, I don't hate him, although there are some sections where it could get annoying to deal with. But I think I somewhat enjoy this level, especially seeing as how, you know, I've gotten better with it. I guess one benefit of having to play through this level twice is that this level gives you a lot of experience points when you defeat the enemies. This level, yeah, it gives you like an insane amount of XP. Like I have like a 7 bars, like a bars amount worth of XP, and I got 7 at like, well, I'll get like 9 later on, and I get 9 again on my second playthrough. So I guess that's one benefit, is that I have like a somewhat extra stronger werehog. Also, for some reason, I wasn't taking advantage of the TNT crates. Also, I really like the music piece for this level. It's really nice. I like the overall like vibe a bit, and like it's kind of like the spooky nature of it. It's a very chill song. Collecting most of the medals I can. Also, in the werehog version of this level of Rooftop Run, you know, this is where we get like a bunch of like the barrel segments that don't appear in the daytime version. A fun thing is that in Sonic Generations, you know, that game also has 2 play styles, but instead of the werehog, it's classic Sonic, and Rooftop Run is one of the returning stages. Excuse me. But yeah, Rooftop Run is one of the returning stages in that game. And to sort of reference the fact that this game's second play style had like barrel sections, the classic version of Rooftop Run also have barrel sections. So I think that's like sort of like a fun reference, where it's like they reference the fact that like they have like the second gameplay style of that game reference the second gameplay style of this game, as opposed to the modern version of Rooftop Run, where it's more of essence of the daytime version, which makes sense. So yeah, I sort of like that. Yeah, over here we're gonna be having our second mini boss, but I think I actually do use the dynamite against him. I'm not sure, since it's been a bit since I recorded this, but oh, don't worry, there's always gonna be like something hidden somewhere, like some health power-up, so just in case you're low on life. Also, a good idea when facing the mini-bosses, always go on leash. Yeah, but again, look at this. Slams into him, and then tears him apart from the inside. I don't know, I just think that's kind of awesome. If you don't attack, hit the Gaia monster for a while, you will... Geez, I already have like 10 XP. But if you don't attack him for a while, he'll actually start summoning like the mini enemies. They're not going to be too much of a hassle, but they're kind of annoying to deal with. This is where it stopped recording originally, so you should be seeing the edit in 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait, no, I did like the... Yep, there we go. Yeah, I was paused for a moment. Because I was trying to see if it was actually recording. So, and that, like, sort of, like, I still do well here, but that sort of, like, kind of screwed me over when doing gameplay, since I always had to check to see if it was recording, and it didn't stop. So, as you can see, I already collected some of the medals here. But I will be trying to... I didn't try to like, show off the medals in the first half of the stage, since obviously you guys didn't see that first half, and I didn't need to. Or, no, what I meant to say is that I already recorded the first half, so it'd just be kind of redundant to get it again, so I just sort of like blazed by it. But with this, since I wasn't able to show it off, I'll be showing off the original locations of the medals, and not just like speed through the stage really fast. So yeah, when you already collected a medal, it'll look like have this like sort of like see-through effect going on. It looks like it looks like sort of like ghostly. Say that's what it looks like when like a medal is already been collected. Now recollecting them doesn't like raise your medal count, obviously. Otherwise, you can just like go through like the same stage over and over again and just recollect the medals in order to get like your max medal rank and continue forward to the game. Since there's not as much combat in this segment, and like this huge platforming segment, also again hold B. So that you can immediately grab on the objects. That's very good advice for you when you play Sonic Unleashed. Hold B. It helped me out a lot. And since, you know, I heard that advice beforehand from like other Let's Players beforehand. And I actually had a pretty good run through. This section is kind of cool. You're supposed to change the clock arrows to like to make it so that you can easily access the sort of part of the level. A weird thing is that it sort of makes a sound here. If you listen closely, it makes a sound here that implies that it implies that the arrows are going backwards, like it's going back to its original position. So it makes you think that you need to go fast before like it goes back to the original position and you have to redo it. But it doesn't move at all, so I don't really get the point of that sound. Maybe that's like something somewhere else. I don't know. Okay, so the camera is kind of bad here since you can't really see the Dark Gaia monster that you're supposed to be grabbing onto. Again, hold B, and I'd recommend a run jump. So yeah, it's not a horrible jump, but it is a good idea too. And here I just immediately activated Unleash since I was tired of this crap at this point. Even if again I did pass through it really quickly. So yeah, we would be seeing the Gai Key here, but instead we would see a goal. We would see a goal ring. Yeah, we collected the second Gai Key and passed through Rooftop Run Night. So yeah, if you guys greatly enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like on it. If you have any interesting thoughts to say on it, make sure to leave a comment on it. If you greatly enjoy most of my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also check out my friend Janen's channel, Forgettable J, and our podcast, Forgettable Thoughts. So yeah, see you all in the next part of Sonic Unleashed. Johnny.